Ananda sat beside the Bodhi tree, his eyes filled with despair and his heart heavy with unspoken questions. Master, Ananda said, misfortune follows me like a shadow, no matter my efforts to escape its reach. Buddha turned his calm gaze toward Ananda, his face serene as the still waters of a tranquil pond. Ananda, Buddha began, misfortune is not born from the winds outside, but from the seeds planted in our own minds. The other disciples gathered around, sensing wisdom flowing as a river, eager to drink deeply from its eternal stream. Let me share with you the tale of a man consumed by the endless cycles of misfortune. Buddha continued. Long ago, Buddha said, a fisherman lived near a vast ocean, always lamenting his struggles to catch fish. Each day he cast his net, Buddha said, and each day he found it empty. His heart burdened with grief. His cries reached the heavens, cursing fate for the misfortunes that seemed to descend upon him without mercy. Buddha paused, his words gently floating in the air, like leaves carried by the breeze across the silent grove. Blind to his own role in his suffering, he failed to see the holes within his net, Buddha explained. The man blamed the waves, the wind, and the world, Buddha said, ignoring the repair his net needed. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, their hearts absorbing the lesson like seeds awakening under nurturing rain. Ananda, Buddha said, misfortune often arises from ignorance, from our refusal to examine the patterns within ourselves. Our thoughts, actions, and desires shape the path before us, creating ripples that can lead to joy or sorrow. Ananda listened intently, his spirit yearning for answers to free him from the chains that held him fast. Ananda, Buddha continued, to break free, one must turn inward, cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom as the first steps. Like the fisherman who repaired his net, Buddha said, you must mend the gaps where misfortune enters your life. Mindfulness begins with awareness. Sariputra, noticing the sensations of anger, the tension it creates, and the thoughts it weaves. When you become aware, you no longer feed anger's fire. Misfortune does not come from chance alone. Ananda, Buddha said, it is the harvest of choices made without awareness. To escape misfortune, Buddha said, choose each step thoughtfully, each word kindly, and each thought with mindful intention. Do not feed anger with thoughts of resentment, the Buddha said. Starve it of attention, and it shall wither like an untended flame. Do not walk the path alone, Buddha said, for even the strongest tree grows amidst the support of the forest. The cycles of misfortune cannot endure when one walks the path of truth and compassion, Buddha said softly. Ananda bowed his head, his burden lighter, his heart stirred by the light of understanding Buddha had bestowed. Buddha concluded, to escape misfortune, Ananda, is not to flee from it but to transform it through mindful actions. He let the leaf fall from his fingers, its descent graceful and unresisted. Let go of anger as you would release a leaf to the wind. Buddha remained under the Bodhi tree, his presence radiant as the moonlight illuminating the paths of those seeking peace. The episode lingered in the hearts of the disciples, a beacon reminding them that misfortune is never without meaning. In the stillness, Sariputra felt the weight of his grudge start to lift, replaced by the soothing presence of mindfulness and peace. The Buddha, wise and compassionate, offered his teachings freely, guiding his disciples toward liberation from the burdens of the ego's entrapments. Ananda smiled faintly, knowing that the path forward was illuminated not by miracles, but by his own awakened mind. Misfortune, once feared, became the gentle teacher, revealing paths toward growth and liberation through the cycles of life's trials. Master, your words are a balm to my wounds, a light to my darkness. I will honor this path with dedication. Megha approached Buddha, her steps hesitant, her eyes reflecting the confusion that clouded her heart and mind deeply. Master, Megha said, I have sought your wisdom. Yet my heart remains restless, bound by desires I cannot control. Buddha turned toward Megha, his gaze steady, his expression a mirror of compassion and understanding for her turmoil. Megha, Buddha began gently. The human heart often clings to desires, mistaking them for fulfillment when they only breed suffering. The disciples leaned in, their spirits attuned to the wisdom Buddha would soon unfold like the petals of a flower. Let me share with you a story, Buddha continued, of a man consumed by the relentless pursuit of his desires. There was once a merchant, Buddha said, who dreamed of possessing the rarest jewel in the entire land. He traveled far and wide, Buddha said, his days spent chasing the dream and his nights tormented by longing. At last, he obtained the jewel, Buddha said, but his joy was fleeting, replaced by fear of losing his treasure. His days were spent guarding the jewel, Buddha said, his nights sleepless, consumed by worry and distrust. He isolated himself from friends and family, Buddha said, afraid they might envy him and seek to take it away. Though he possessed the jewel, Buddha continued, he lost his peace, his happiness, and his connection to the world. This water is bitter, Master, Mahakashyapa said, his voice laced with discomfort, the salt overwhelming his senses. Unfit for consumption. The Buddha nodded, his eyes filled with understanding, then led the disciples to a vast and glistening lake nearby. To be free from the chains of desire, Buddha said, you must learn to distinguish between fleeting wants and enduring values. Desires are not inherently evil, Buddha said, but their grip on the heart leads to suffering. Much like the merchant's story. Master, the water is sweet and nourishing, untainted by the salt. The bitterness is dissolved, Mahakashyapa exclaimed. His heart lightened. Seek desires that nurture compassion, wisdom, and harmony, Buddha said, letting go of attachments that breed fear and sorrow. Desire wisely, Buddha said, and let your heart become a garden of peace, where flowers bloom without the weight of chains. Megha bowed deeply, her heart lightened by the understanding Buddha had bestowed upon her troubled mind. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, each resolving to untangle their own hearts from the web of unhealthy desires. The mind, Buddha said, is like a turbulent river when ruled by unchecked desire, unable to flow steadily toward peace. Calm the river through mindfulness, Buddha said, and let the current carry you toward liberation, unhindered by desire's grasp. Imagine the one who wronged you, Mahakashyapa, their own pain fueling their actions, their suffering echoing in their hurtful deeds. By recognizing their pain, you open the door to forgiveness, extending the hand of compassion to bridge the gap of separation. The Buddha's voice carried the truth, his words resonating deeply within the disciples, each finding meaning within the teachings of compassion. Mahakashyapa bowed his head, tears streaming, his heart softened by the Buddha's guidance, the bitterness of hatred replaced by understanding. Buddha remained under the Bodhi tree, his presence a radiant beacon of peace amidst the trials of human existence. The disciples dispersed, carrying Buddha's teachings like torches to guide their paths through life's intricate maze of desires. The disciples meditated together, their breaths harmonious, the tranquility of the banyan tree enveloping them, fostering the seeds of compassion. The Buddha closed his eyes, embodying the vastness of compassion, his essence merging with the stillness of the moment. A living example. Mahakashyapa envisioned the face of the monk he resented, imagining the sorrow within him, dissolving the wall that hatred had built. Through compassion, Mahakashyapa began to feel lighter. His burden lessened, his heart expanding, encompassing the vastness the Buddha had described. As the day unfolded, the disciples carried the Buddha's teachings into their hearts, practicing compassion to mend the wounds of conflict. The lake's waters sparkled in the sunlight, a timeless reminder of the Buddha's wisdom, a metaphor for the transformation of the soul. Compassion flowed through the monastery, a gentle stream washing away bitterness, rekindling bonds, and uniting the disciples in shared understanding. Mahakashyapa bowed deeply before the Buddha, gratitude overflowing, his commitment to practicing compassion fortified by the teachings he had received. Master, I will carry this wisdom wherever I go, nurturing compassion and spreading its light to heal broken spirits. Mahakashyapa vowed. The Buddha placed his hand on Mahakashyapa's shoulder, a gesture of reassurance and encouragement, his smile a beacon of hope. Another day, another hour. The disciples gathered beneath the Bodhi tree, seeking guidance from Buddha in their quest for liberation. Buddha sat silently, his presence radiant as the morning sun, illuminating the hearts of those who sought his wisdom. A young disciple named Ravi approached Buddha, his eyes filled with doubt, his heart yearning for clarity and purpose. Master, Ravi said, misfortune tests me deeply, and though I seek the path, I falter under its heavy burden. Buddha turned his serene gaze to Ravi, his expression compassionate, his voice gentle as a flowing stream. Ravi, Buddha began, misfortune is neither a punishment nor an enemy. It is a teacher guiding us toward greater truths. The other disciples leaned closer, their spirits attuned to the wisdom that Buddha would impart, each seeking enlightenment. Let me share a story, Buddha said, of a woman who faced life's trials and found strength within herself. Long ago, Buddha said, a widow lived in a small village, her days consumed by grief for her lost husband. Her sorrow clouded her mind, Buddha said, and she believed her suffering was unique, a burden no one could understand. One day, Buddha said, she sought a remedy and approached a wise healer in search of solace for her aching heart. The healer listened patiently, Buddha said, and handed her a jar, instructing her to fill it with mustard seeds. He added a condition, Buddha continued, that the seeds must come from homes untouched by sorrow or misfortune. Determined to heal, Buddha said, the widow traveled from home to home, seeking seeds as instructed by the healer. At each door, Buddha said, she heard stories of loss, hardship, and perseverance, realizing no home was free of sorrow. Her quest led her to understand, Buddha said, that suffering connects all beings, a thread woven through the fabric of existence. When you cling tightly to past wrongs, you trap yourself in their power, unable to move forward with peace and clarity. The more you grasp, the more it consumes you, like holding on to fire, burning only your hand, not the one who harmed. Ravi, Buddha said, misfortune invites us to expand our perspective, finding connection and wisdom in the shared struggles of life. To escape the grip of misfortune, Buddha said, we must walk the Eightfold Path, cultivating wisdom and compassion with each step. Ravi nodded, his heart opening to the teachings that Buddha offered. Like seeds planted in fertile soil, the Eightfold Path is your guide, Buddha said, a map to navigate life's challenges and emerge stronger and freer. Right understanding, Buddha began, reveals the truth, clearing the fog of ignorance that clouds our minds and hearts. Right intention, Buddha continued, sets the compass of your spirit, aligning your thoughts with wisdom and kindness. Right speech, Buddha said, builds bridges, avoiding harm and sowing harmony in the conversations that shape our connections. Right action, Buddha continued, ensures integrity in our deeds, nurturing the seeds of peace and justice within our lives. Right livelihood, Buddha said, invites ethical choices in our work, contributing to the greater good without causing harm. Right effort, Buddha continued, fosters perseverance, empowering us to persist in the face of adversity and misfortune. Right mindfulness, Buddha said, anchors us in the present, freeing us from the chains of distraction and delusion. Right concentration, Buddha concluded, guides the spirit, focusing energy toward enlightenment and liberation from cycles of suffering. The wind does not mourn the leaf it carries away, the Buddha said. Likewise, let go of your attachment to pain. The storm of misfortune cannot endure, Buddha said. When met with calm resolve and the steady practice of mindfulness, the grove fell silent, a space for reflection where each disciple absorbed Buddha's words like seeds carried by the wind. Ravi bowed deeply, his heart lighter, his steps guided by the timeless truths Buddha had revealed. Buddha gazed at his disciples, his presence a beacon illuminating the path toward liberation from life's trials. The disciples dispersed, carrying the teachings of the Eightfold Path into their lives, weaving harmony amidst life's intricate chaos. Buddha's words lingered in the air, their resonance spreading like ripples across a pond, touching hearts far beyond the grove. It is the light within the mind, he continued, that reveals the interconnectedness of all beings and the truth of their nature. With detachment comes the ability to serve others selflessly, fostering trust that transcends the fleeting bonds of superficial connection. Let each of you practice letting go of past wrongs, that you may walk the path of harmony and compassion with ease. The disciples bowed in unison, their commitment to the Buddha's teachings unwavering, their spirits aligned with the wisdom of detachment. Release the need to change others, and you shall find peace within. He pointed to the flowing river, its waters gliding gracefully over rocks and debris in its path. Observe the river, he said, how it embraces all that it encounters without resistance or judgment. The disciples followed his gaze, the harmony of nature mirroring the essence of his teachings. The wind carried the echoes of the Buddha's teachings far and wide, a symbol of the peace found in detachment and forgiveness. The gardens of Jetavana Monastery thrived, nourished by the rain, a reflection of the flourishing spirits of those who embraced the Buddha's words. Master, she said, I understand now that peace lies in acceptance, not in the transformation of others. How shall I practice this? The Buddha gestured to the fertile soil beneath the Bodhi tree, his movements imbued with intention and purpose. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.